So now here we'll see inject and leakage of economy. Inject and leakage of economy. So here in this particular part, see, we studied that like what is happening? Economy is flowing in a circular manner. Okay. But what will happen? If it will be flowing in a circular manner, so here what? That stability will be there. Okay. It will there will be a stability. But since we are since human beings, we are human, so what we will do? We'll try to grow ourselves. Okay. So we want growth. So if it will be in the stability, so there will be no growth. Okay. So there will be no growth. So for that, what we have to do? For that, like if it is flowing, okay. Now here it is flowing. So in that, if we enter something, okay. So there what will happen? If we inject something, so there what will happen? Either the economy will grow or either economy will grow more or grow less. So there will be the growth. Okay. So there will be the growth. So if we inject, so mostly what will happen? We'll have the here the economy will expand. Okay. If we inject something, so here the economy expand. And if we have some leakage, like here we have it is flowing a circular, it is stable. And if we have some leakage, so there what will happen? Here the economy will shrink. Here the economy will shrink. Okay. So now here in case of like we can say we can take a balloon. Okay. So suppose if we have a balloon, okay. Now in this particular balloon, if we fill air, so what will happen? It will grow. Okay. So if we are injecting something, so it will grow in size. Okay. Now suppose if you put a pin, okay, if you put a hole, so here what will happen? All those air will be there will be the leakage. Okay. So what will happen? There will be the shrinkage. Okay. So that is the inject. That same thing can be explained with the inject and the leakage of economy. Okay. So that is what inject and the leakage of economy. What do we suppose if we have the injection. Okay. Suppose if we inject something. Suppose if we inject something, so there what is happening? There the economy is boosting or the expansion of economy is happening. Okay. So if we injecting something, so for this particular like if we are boosting our economy, so here there will be what? We'll be having more money. So in that case, what will happen? That economic activity will increase. Okay. So here the economic activity will increase. So now suppose economic activity have increased. So what will happen? Everyone will get employment. So there will be increase in employment. Okay. So when there will be increase in the employment, so what will happen? Per capita income also will increase. So in that case, what will happen? GDP will also increase. Okay. So now in this particular part, now when we have the injection, so in that case also we'll have one more thing. What that there will be the also money supply increase. Here also the money supply will also increase. If we inject something, so there will be economic boost. So here also money supply will increase. Okay. So these things will be increasing. So all those things can be understood by all these examples. Like if we invest, so if we invest something, so there what will be there? There will be some profits. Okay. So here there will be the expansion. So if we invest, like nowadays, what many industries, many big businessmen, what they are doing? They're asking someone to invest in that particular things. So when it is being invested, so here what is happening? Now they are giving value to other persons. So there what is happening? They're able to put more labor forces. Okay. So they're able to increase the activities. Okay. So when they are able to increase all those labor activities, so in that case, what is happening? In that case, employment activity is increasing. Employment activity is increasing. Okay. So in that case, when the employment activity will increase, so in that case, what will happen? There will be the more production of goods. So there, in that case, what will happen? The GDP, their per capita income also will increase. So in that case, we have the GDP also will be increasing. So all these are examples for the injecting. Okay, like we have the investment, we have the high consumption. Okay, so if we consume more means what? If we consume more, so in that case, what will happen? So in that case also there will be demand of production. So in that case, what will happen? When there will be demand of production, so there will be demand. There will be. So in that case, will increase the activity. So in this way, high consumption, high government is spending. Suppose if government is spending somewhere, so if they're spending, so in that case, now people will go. Okay, people will go and engage themselves in that particular work. Okay, so high government spending also will lead to the injection. Okay, so in that case, what will happen? Here the economy will boost. Then if we have the low tax, low rate of interest, high export, low import. Okay, So low import. Why low import? Because now here the goods will be coming from outside. Okay. So when the goods will be coming from outside, so in that case, what will happen? So in that case, like here, there will be a leakage. So that's why we have the low import. So low import means what? Here that our economy will push. Okay. So these are the examples. Suppose if we have the these are examples for boosting our economy. Okay. So here these are examples of the injection, inject. Okay. Now here we have the leakage. Okay. So for leakage, like here, suppose if you have the leakage in something, so here what will happen? The size will decrease. So here in the case of economy also will what happen? Economy will shrink down. Okay. So in when the economy will shrink down, like in the corona time. In the corona time, you all would have seen. So what happened? When economy shrink down, so there what happened? That activity is also shrinked. Okay, activity is also shrinked, and in that case what happened? There was decrease in employment. Okay, so in that case many people were unemployed, so that per capita income also decreased. So there was decrease in GDP also. Okay, so in that case also we can say that money supply also decreased. Money supply decreased. So if we have leakage, so in that case we'll having the negative impact. So shrinking will be there, then economic activity will decrease, GDP will decrease, employment will decrease, and money supply will decrease. So in that case, what are all those examples of leakage? So like if we save something, if you're not investing, just we are saving, so there is no flow of that thing. So in that case, what will happen? There is the leakage. Okay. Then if we have the low consumption, so there will be not demand of any goods and services. Low government spending. If we have the low government spending, so no people will be focusing on that side. Okay. Then if we have the high tax, okay, like recently now we had earlier it was like if we earn 7 lakhs per year, so for that there will be some taxes. Okay. Now what happened? Now they have removed this one, and they have said that above 12 lakhs per year only will be asked to pay tax. Okay. So in that case, what? Suppose if you have the high tax, so in case of high tax, so here people will try to earn less so that they are getting more profit. Okay. Then if you have the high rate of interest, so no people will go and ask for that particular. Suppose if someone want to invest and they are asking for a high rate of interest, so no people will go and ask from him. Okay. Then you have the low export. So if you have the low export, so there also you will have the leakage. Then high import. So there also is the leakage. So these are the leakage examples because of which our economy will shrink down. Okay. So now in this particular part also we must understand that, see, injection is good, investment, all those things are good. Okay. But it should be at limit. It should be at limit. Okay. But if we inject more than the limit, so in that case, what will happen? In that case, there might be the inflation. Okay, if we inject more than the limit, so there will be the inflation. Like if invest something, now is suppose if RBI they started printing more notes. So in that case, what will happen? Now there will be the high demand. Okay, so here the inflation. So here that inflation will increase. Okay, so here what will happen? Now all those things, now when they will see that now there is more money in the market, so they will increase the prices. They will increase the prices of goods. So there will be the inflation. So till limit, if you inject something, so that is good. Okay. So everything has both positive and the negative impacts. So now in this particular, if you see, so if now in this particular in the leakage part, so here what will happen? Here we'll have the deflation. Okay. So here also, if it is done more than the limit, if that leakage is done more than the limit, so here we'll have the deflation. Okay. Even though this particular leakage can be done to it, this leakage can be done for the decreasing inflation. Okay. But even this leakage, if done more than a limit, so there will be the deflation. Okay, so there here the if leakage is there means what? Deflation can be there. Okay, so more than limits. If anything is more than limits, so there will be some negative impact. Okay, so these are things about the leakage and the inject. Okay, we'll see some questions. Okay, so one question is what? When savings leaks out of the circular flow model, so what happens to it? So when it will leak out. So in that case, what is that? There is the shrinkage. So it shrinks the size of the economy. Okay. Then we have following is an example of injection into the circular flow. Okay, so injection into circular flow of income. So savings, we saw that there will be the leakage. Taxes also we saw leakage, example of leakage. Imports also example of leakage. So here government expenditure is what? It is example of injection. Then we have following is an example of leakage from the circular flow of income. Okay, so in leakage, in the inject, we saw that there we have the investment, we have the high export. Okay, there we saw about the high consumption. So these things are what? They are the examples of inject. Okay, whereas high taxes is example of high taxes. See, high might not be there, only taxes will be there. So in that you must guess that that is what? That will be the high tax only. So if you have the high tax, so there will be what? There will be the leakage. Okay, it see, like we have studied at high export. Okay, we have studied that high export is part of what? Inject. Okay, so instead of high, like even export also will be there. So that is what? That is the part of inject. Okay, like in import, like low import. Okay, so low import is part of, suppose if low import is given, so this is part of inject. Okay, but if only import is given, so this is part of what? It is part of leakage, or the high import is given, so it is part of leakage. Okay, so remember these things also. Okay, so now leakage from the circular flow are what? So leakage from the circular flow are what? Like we have the savings, taxes, and the imports. So they are the leakage from the circular flow. Okay, then injection into the circular flow are. So injection into the circular flow, if we have, so we saw about the various examples. So remember all those, just go through all those examples. Okay. So there what will happen? So injection. So in the injection, what will happen? We have the consumption. Okay, we have the investment. But here the one example is given about the import. So import is what? Here we'll have the leakage. Okay. Then here in this case, like transfer payments. Okay. So transfer payments is also the part of what? Leakage. Okay. So here the main example, if you see here, investment, government expenditure, exports. So all these things are examples of what? Inject. Okay. So these are things about the inject and the leakage. So now here next question. In the circular flow, we would expect leakage to, in the circular flow, we would expect leakage to be less than the injection. Okay. Then only there will be what? Growth. And always will go for the growth purpose only. So we expect leakages to be less than injections. Okay. So remember that always there in circular flow, we expect leakage to be less than the injection. Okay. So this is all about the inject and the leakage of economy. Okay. So from tomorrow classes, we'll see about some important points regarding the growth and development, and then we'll see about the development indexes. Like we'll see about the Human Development Index, Gross National Happiness Index, Gender Inequality Index, various indexes are there. So all those things we'll see in tomorrow class. Okay. So we'll wind up this particular class now. We'll meet again in the next class. Okay. So thank you all. Jai Hind. You all can leave the class now.
Jane, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.